And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Loves Gymnastics podcast, brought to you by the Loves Gymnastics Network, brought to you by the creator of this, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, and her co-host, Oscar, aka Gymnastics Saves Lives, Miss Shayna, and Ezra. And together, we bring you the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Season 2 begins now. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We love and appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring more people into the community. It's NCAA 2025 time. Let's go, girls! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Welcome back to my channel, Michaela Loves Gymnastics. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our podcast of the Loves Gymnastics Network. And today is April 1st, 2025. Can y'all believe it? We are 4 months into 2025. We are good. We are ready. I think Oscar is here.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey,
Um,
everybody.
we will be joined by Ezra, and I believe Shayna will be here later on. But I know Ezra confirmed that he will get on when he can later on. You know, he's a teenager. We go through all of this every time. Um, we have literally so much gymnastics to talk about. It's ridiculous.
Too much. We can't get to it all, can we?
No, but we're going to try to cover as much of it as we can with whatever time constraints that we have. And our co-host Oscar, he went to the World Figure Skating Championship.
Oh
He
my
was live in the
goodness.
building. If you go to his YouTube channel, Gymnastics Days Live, you've been seeing first-hand footage from the World Figure Skating Championships. And we can talk about that. Um, yeah, we can knock that out the way. The World Figure Skating Championships was really cool. It was the first time that I paid attention to it in many years. Um,
Do you remember the last World Championship specifically you paid attention to?
maybe the one before. It was this figure skater. Her name is something
Which
at
country?
America. Uh,
Okay. Did she go to the Olympics?
yes.
Did she
Um,
medal?
I think she might have came in fourth place. Ashley Wagner. Okay.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, she was like the MC of the event. She was talking to all the skaters after they finished skating. She was so funny. She was really
the last
chaotic.
the last time I paid attention to figure skating this much is when Ashley Wagner went to Worlds and came in second place.
Okay, that must have been like the 2010s, right? Not so long ago.
Um, maybe it's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay, I was expecting like 2002.
Not that long.
So what drew you back? What drew your attention back to the World Championships of figure
It was
skating?
in America.
It was. My mom was like, why are the world, she was like, how big is this event? I was telling her about it, and I was like, I think I don't follow figure skating very closely, but my understanding is it's the biggest competition besides the Olympics. And she was like, well, why are they in Boston?
Boston is a big figure skating community, I think.
Oh, I wish I had known that. I could have told her that. I was like, why not? They happen in random places. She said, well, why aren't they in, where did she say? Like, oh gosh, I can't even remember what she said. Some Eastern European country or something. She has outdated reference points.
Mm, um, so you were there, you watched it firsthand. How did you feel about what you saw?
Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't see everything. I went to the women's short program, the single short program. I went to the pairs short program. Those were on the same day. And then 2 days later, I went to see the women's free skate. Um, it was my first ever figure skating competition in person. So I felt very privileged, very spoiled. It was a great competition to start with. Um, Sorry if I sound out of breath. I'm just 2 blocks from my house. I'm walking home and then I'll turn my camera on. I'm running a little late, sorry. Um, so I had so much fun. I was so impressed. I loved both the ladies and the pairs. I wish I had gotten to see the pairs free skate because Michaela was asking me which was more fun for me to see gymnastics or figure skating in person now that I've seen both, even though I'm a much bigger gymnastics fan. And I said, well, they're so different, but one thing I definitely preferred about the figure skating was that the routines last longer. I always want the gymnastics to last longer, usually. And I really enjoyed how long the routines were, even though, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got bored during some routines, zoned out a little bit. But overall, it was each of those sessions. I went to 3 different sessions. They were all about like between 4 and 5 hours long. So I was not prepared for them to be nearly that long. I was surprised, but I was just so excited to be there and enjoying myself so much that I kind of was like, I mean, the first day it was 2 5-hour sessions, so the halfway through the second one, the pairs, I kind of was sleepy, but I got my overpriced coffee they were selling in the arena, and it was fine. It's not like I haven't fallen asleep at gymnastics meets. What was it, like the juniors at the U.S. Classic or something? I had to excuse myself and go sleep in the parking lot because I had flown overnight. I don't know if you remember me sleeping in the airport, Michaela. That was when the
Mhm.
university games were happening. But I'm getting so off point. I had a great time. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I was so like I just like had the best time probably. The women's free skate. I wasn't even supposed to go to that originally. I just bought tickets for the short and the pair short, and I'm so happy I did because it was just like surreal and so much fun, and all the skaters, especially the last group, skated so well. Um, it was
So,
great.
question:
Yeah.
how did the ticketing work? Like when you okay, let's say for anybody who ever want to go to a world figure skating gymnastics,
Hmm.
and you may not understand how the ticketing works, do you have to buy tickets to every single event that they're doing, or is it like a
No,
package thing? Or
there might be packages. I didn't really look for any packages because I knew that I wasn't interested in going to both in a position to pay for all of that, and also I don't think I could have gone to it just because I had other things to do. Um, so I bought, individual a ticket to each event, individual tickets. Maybe there would have been a package since I don't know, since I wanted to go to more than one thing, technically, but I would be surprised if it was really just like pick and choose, because like it seems kind of random to want to go to like pairs and women's, but only on one day, you know? So I bought my tickets through Ticketmaster.
So if you wanted to see everything, like if you wanted to see the women's shorts, the men's shorts, the pairs, the ice dance, all their shorts.
You were teasing me. You were like, "Why are you going and not going to every single thing?" I was like, "Oh, that'd be nice," but
Yeah,
very
because
soon.
I can't just I'm thinking of like the NCAA championships, right? It's like I understand you could just go see day one, or you can just go see day two.
And you can only go one day. Are you going day one or day two?
But most people go for the whole both days, right? And you
Of
can buy
course.
tickets in that way to go see both days. It's actually cheaper to see both days than it is to buy tickets for one day. So it will be, and then
Surprising.
again, in my mind, in gymnastics, I eventually would like them to do the men's NCAA championships and the women's NCAA championships in one go, fell swoop, in one city, one arena. The men go first, then the women, or however the hell they want to do it each year. But I would hate for them to make it two separate things where they're trying to get up or get over on you both ways. Like, so it kind of makes me sad that, like, yeah, like when I buy tickets to Worlds, I'm not buying tickets to Worlds. I'm buying tickets to the women's free skate or the women's short program or the women's this or that. And
But
like,
I'm not sure that there isn't like a package for everything that would have been cheaper. I just didn't look because I knew it didn't make sense for me personally.
ah, that also makes sense.
It's so much to see, honestly. Um, it's exhausting.
And let's not skip past that you went to see UCLA and Stanford.
I totally
And
did. But didn't we talk about that for like a short period of time? The last show I was able to join for? Or am I making that up?
I don't remember. I don't think you had a show with you on it for a while.
I definitely like mentioned it in passing at the very least because I remember I already had my copy of I'm That Girl and I was wearing my Bruins t-shirt that I got at the meet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I would be happy to talk more about that. That was so fun. It was like the senior night, and I didn't even know that when I bought the tickets. I said hi to Jordan. She said hi to me. She was divaing. She won like every event except for Beam. Brooklyn Moores and I took a photo together. No one got a 10, but I was still like I did not even realize it because I was so uh, enjoying myself. I wasn't missing that. I didn't have time to even think about that.
So, have you even had a chance to even fathom conference championships and what happened with that clusterfuck of events?
You know what? I was on Twitter those days. I didn't watch one single meet. I feel bad about that. I'd like to eventually. Some more than others, obviously. Um, when I get around to it, I'll probably ask you or is there Shane or Nisha or not John, but I'll say which ones are the best ones to watch? Which ones should I watch? Um, I have looked at the bracket, but I would say overall, I mean, I was kind of busy. I was on vacation, but and enjoying myself, trying to be off my devices. But also, I was like, you know what? I just don't feel like what's at stake here. Like all that I'm missing really is just like some great performances because that's what I saw people were talking about. People were doing great jobs, great routines, but like a lot of high scores, which just makes me very wary, about overscoring without even
Oh
seeing
yeah,
the
he did
routines.
absolutely nothing. It was absolutely meaningless this whole weekend. It was just bragging rights galore, but it was absolutely me. The most important thing that's about to happen is tomorrow with regionals, where if we're just going to be honest, the real NCAA season starts. Like
And it all takes place on one day, all of the regionals.
over, I think it starts tomorrow with the play-in. I don't know if you were here where we were describing what the play-ins are, but the play-ins are, those two lower level teams on each regional,
Hmm.
and they're playing to see who is that eventually gets the last spot to regionals. So that starts Wednesday, and I think two happen
But how do you
Wednesday.
qualify to a regional? Like, who didn't qualify that I know?
You had to be in the top 36 in the country.
Oh, okay. That's straightforward. Finally, something
Uh,
straightforward from the NCAA.
I'm telling you. So I'm really hoping for me, and I want to save all regional talks to at least Ezra or Shayna gets on, whichever one gets on first. But I really,
Totally.
I really want it to be Florida, Oklahoma, LSU.
This is who is gonna win their regionals, right?
No, these are the four teams that I want to make it past regionals and eventually into the NCAA championship, and the four teams on the floor in the final night
So
fighting for
you're
the.
naming four teams, or it's eight teams that go to the championships?
It's eight teams that get to go to the championships, but after day one, it's well, it's 16. Well, okay, let me not lie. Is it 18? Yes, it is 18. No, wait, is it? Yeah, because two teams get them. Okay, yeah, so it is eight teams that make it through, and eventually, out of the 18, four teams make it to the final Saturday. I think it's April 19th.
Oh, it's not 420 this year?
420 is on Sunday, which is Easter.
So no gymnastics on 420 this year.
No, that's Oscar. I mean, um that's the Easter Bunny or
Okay.
Jesus Christ, however you want to look at it. Um,
I just remember last year, some other year, they were on 420, and everyone thought that was. I
it's
thought that was
always
funny.
around. It's always around. If it's not right on it, it's always around this time.
That's right. That's what I thought.
So that's just what I'm hoping. But a lot of people want it to be other teams, and we could talk about it when our NCAA experts get on. While you are on, I want to talk about them elite gymnastics.
Wait,
So
can we spend 5 more minutes on figure skating,
sure, sure,
or,
yes.
or maybe even less? How did you feel about? Um, okay, I was so thrilled that Alyssa Liu became the world champion. I think she's likable, and I think she chose great music, and I thought she skated beautifully and she was entertaining to watch. And she had nice jumps. I couldn't tell you if she had the most difficult program or not, but I was not at all mad with the results for her specifically. And even the top, I don't know, definitely the top three, I thought were very deserving. I thought maybe one of the Japanese skaters who wasn't on the podium, Wakaba, could have placed over Amber Glenn, but that's my really only issue, if I even have an issue, and I don't feel so strongly because I don't know anything about the judging. But Mona Chiba, Kaori Sakamoto, and Alyssa Liu, top three, great job. They were fabulous. want Cowrie to become the 4-time world champion, consecutive world champion?
See, I don't know enough about figure skating to answer that question. But I do know that I was sad for Amber Glenn. Amber Glenn,
Oh, she had so much pressure. I felt everyone in the arena, everyone I
exactly.
talked to
That's
in the
what
line, Michaela, everyone on Twitter was saying she's gonna win. She can win. She's undefeated this season. And I just thought they were I thought they were setting her up to fail, you know, like it's too much pressure for anyone, I think. And like just because she's been undefeated this season doesn't mean she's like beaten all of the opponents that are gonna be at this Worlds, you know? It's a different field.
true, but she has beaten a lot of the girls that were here because she won the Grand
Grand
Prix.
Prix.
Yes. I know a lot of the top names are here. And it's also kind of weird for me that Alyssa won because Alyssa barely made this world team.
Right,
And
she was like third at nationals, I think.
yeah, and
Oh, I didn't even mention Isabeau. She had great. I loved both of her programs, and obviously it was too bad that she fell on her first jump series or whatever combination in the free skate. But I loved her music choice. I liked her outfits, and I thought she was very beautiful and entertaining to watch.
I think figure skating, okay, I cannot be honest about figure skating. Like, one of the things I dislike, I thought figure skating with lyrics would be dope, but it's really not.
Never, never. It was so refreshing when a skater would not even like it didn't have to be classical, even though I'm a huge classical music fan, like anything without lyrics. It was so refreshing because it was just like so much lyrics, so much, you know,
I
modern
feel like
music. Oh,
I
I did not
feel
like
like
it.
the lyrics is a cheat for figure skating. It's yeah, you're interpreting the music because you're literally interpreting what the lyrics say. I think it's a different thing when you're interpreting the music without the lyrics. So now you have to translate what the music is saying. Even if we know the words already, you can still translate it differently. And one of the great examples I have is like Bolero. Like, there are so many different people who have so many great interpretations of Bolero
Mm-hmm.
and gymnastics, and it wouldn't be the same if it was like Ave Maria, which is another beautiful piece of music. But
Someone used that, the
I,
Korean
I,
skater.
I know, but there's already words, there's already an interpretation to Ave Maria. It's not like you could do the pop, lock, and drop it to Ave Maria. But if it didn't have no words to it, and you did the pop, lock, and drop it, and it made sense, and it was part of the story that you was telling, you could get away with it. But once the lyrics are there, the song there's a certain emotion to the song that you have to translate. Whereas when there is no lyrics, you now can tell the story of the music the way you want to, if it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I got a question for you. This is T. This is mess.
Go for it.
I know you're not that deep into the figure skating community, and I'm not either. I'm very surface level.
I'm
But do
def
you,
I- I'm definitely not in the community. Like I don't follow any figure skating accounts or anything like that, and I often like get turned off from the ones that I see, if that's what you meant.
well, well, part of the question, the grand question is: would this be in the first World Championships in a very long time without the podcast, the skating lessons to interpret skating to me?
Hmm.
I feel like I enjoyed it a lot more, and it helped me realize the kind of podcast that I don't want to be. I don't want to be the kind of podcast that is interpreting, that's telling y'all what to feel about results, right? Oh, Oscar just jumped off. When Oscar gets back on, I will. But I don't want to be the type of podcast that I'm telling you what to feel. And then if you feel differently than the way we feel, I'm not bullying or belittling your opinion and saying that it's invalid and you don't know anything about gymnastics. So you don't have the right to feel this way. And it kind of, it's the same thing when I was saying about how I feel like with the skaters, and gymnastics and figure skating, how I prefer it being without lyrics, because without lyrics, the skaters can then interpret the music the way they want to. Well, without the skating lesson this year, I got to interpret figure skating the way I want to, and it was way more enjoyable. It was way more enjoyable. And I just don't want to be that kind of gymnastics podcast that is telling y'all what to feel. I want y'all to be entertained by our opinions about what we feel, but that in no way, shape, or form are we trying to invalidate your feelings or bullying y'all into, because I think if the skating lessons were still around, yes, they would celebrate Alyssa Liu's win, but the story would be Amber Glenn lost it. Amber Glenn went to the Worlds and she had her mental struggles figured out all seasons and went to the Worlds and fell apart and gave Alyssa Liu the World Championships. And instead of us celebrating Alyssa Liu, because that would have been their interpretations of it, and they're the largest skating platform, so that would have slowly but surely became everybody's interpretations of it. And going into next season, it would have gave Amber Glenn a different kind of pressure than I think it did this season. Like now, it's like, oh, okay, Amber Glenn had a bad competition. Oh well, Alyssa Liu won, and it's like Amber Glenn is really not even a part of the conversation, which is the way it should be. Um, is what I'm saying making sense, Oscar? I feel like I'm reveling on. I don't know if I'm making sense though.
No, it makes sense to me. I saw your post on Twitter related to these things you're saying. Um, I never paid attention to the figure skating world championships. I didn't religiously listen to the skating lesson. I would kind of listen to it when there wasn't much gymnastics going on. Um, or when they had like a really hot button topic, Olympics related, something like that. Um,
Well, sometimes they used to cover gymnastics.
that's right. I Yeah, what you're saying makes sense to me. I'm glad that Alyssa Liu is getting all the support and congratulations that she deserves. I'm definitely not in the whoop, jump
My
scare.
bad.
um, what else could I say to what you said besides that it made sense to me?
Yeah, it's just with all of these gymnastics podcasts and figure skating podcasts, because trust and believe, I see a whole bunch of people coming up with figure skating podcasts trying to replace the skating lessons. It's ridiculous. Um, but I don't blame you all, because it's a whole, like that would be like if Gymcastics fell out. Like, do you know how many damn episodes of this show that we would do trying to fill the void? Because that would be a big ass void to fill.
And
Um,
you would know that. I think it would be right to assume that people would actively be looking harder than they would at other times for, places to get the gymnastics gossip and information and stuff.
Absolutely. And I just hope, especially maybe with Dave, I'm not sure if he could make a comeback after this.
Has no one heard like not a peep from him or anyone? It was just him on the skating lesson with different guests.
No, it was him and his co-host. His co-host name is Jonathan, and I think I followed him on. There go Urza, and I think I followed Jonathan on Twitter. But
Hi, Urza.
I feel
Hey, I'm sorry for the being late.
No
no, you're fine,
worries.
baby. You're fine. I feel bad most. I feel bad most, Lord. I feel most bad for Jonathan because Jonathan was really he spits her on that show, right? Like he doesn't say and do. I mean, yeah, he says and does things that get them in trouble. Like it's a podcast, but it's really Dave who really says and does things that get them in trouble, and it's Dave's show, so it's not like Jonathan can go against
Like
Dave.
Dave started the show and invited this guy Jonathan to join.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to Jim Castis. Like, you know how Jim Castis had a bunch of different co-hosts, and then eventually she found Spencer, and that kind of stuck.
And she
That's kind of
dropped the rest of them, right? Or like, no, I'm just joking. They left, I think. Or different stories for different people. But it's funny how it went down to two people when it was like 5 or 6 at one point.
correct. And it's the same thing with the skating lessons. It definitely was at least 4 of them at one point, and then it just got down to those two.
And
And
there's a reason that, me, a casual viewer of the show, only knows Dave's face and barely knows Dave's name, but doesn't know this Jonathan guy.
exactly, and the show. I mean, it is Dave's show. Like, and he makes no qualms about it. It's his show with Jonathan as the co-host. I just hope when I'm said all that long rambling to say, I hope the figure skating community doesn't exile Jonathan because of what Dave did.
Right.
Uh,
Guilty by association. So Jonathan still has his Twitter, but Dave doesn't, and Jonathan is active.
to be
Have they
honest with you,
acknowledged the
I never even
situation?
to be honest with you, I never even looked to see if Jonathan kept his Twitter up. I just always I looked up the skater lessons and Dave. I never even looked. So sorry, Jonathan Byers. I'm so sorry.
You know who was at the competition at the Worlds for the free skate? It was Christy Yamaguchi and Katarina Witt. I was so gagged. I was starstruck. I love those two skaters.
Yeah, we just have to do a better job here of not. I mean, clearly, I personally look at our podcast as gymnastics comedy because I purposely try to be funny. Now, sometimes can my funny leans to meanness. See, that was the issue with We Love Gymnastics. And see, again, I'm going to take responsibility again. I used to love to blame addicts, but it wasn't addicts. It was both of us, especially me. I kind of think this is why I like Langston because I kind of think the meanness is kind of funny a little bit. So, and I think
We
that's
were
just
laughing for a long time until we weren't.
correct. And I think that is an issue with the queer community as a whole that we all, have to be vicious a little bit, and then we learn to laugh at that viciousness. And you just don't say and then I'm gonna ask this question to y'all because I said this in the solo show and I'm going to y'all both opinions. If he would have said the exact same thing 5 years later, do you think they would have got in trouble?
Maybe, but the amounts of people who would be paying attention would be fewer. There's it was a bad judgment, it was bad timing, and it was a bad thing to say, in my opinion. Not every opinion has to be shared. Not every thought has to be said.
I think people were looking to them, their viewers, their audience, for some level of comfort in the tragedy
Of course, but who was comforted by that?
Yeah, I think. And again, I'm not going to judge him for what he said because, like I said in my solo show, I absolutely, positively, 100% see myself saying that, or if not, something worse.
Oh, that's
Right?
very virtuous of you. I judge them for saying it, but like I can forgive them. We all make mistakes. I've said several things that I regret and think were in bad taste, and I am embarrassed and ashamed about. I
Exactly.
can forgive myself.
This is why when people in other podcasts decide to talk about this and want to roast them and act like he was like vicious and the devil for saying what he said, there's a part of me that understand what he was trying to say. I think I can articulate it in a better way than what he was trying to say. But that's because I heard what he said and I heard how fucked up it is. So now I thought about it and I think I can articulate it better. But in the moment, while you're speaking and you're not thinking, you're just speaking on emotions, what he said was absolutely fucked up.
Well, one thing I would say to that is his show is edited, right? Our show is live, unedited.
They do a live show.
You think it was live when he said that?
I know. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oops.
But they do an edited version of their show as well.
I think that the shows they put on YouTube are usually edited for sure. The ones that I've seen, at least.
Hey, Shayna, when you get a chance, get on, sis.
What do you think
Um,
about? Do you love my icon or do you love my icon?
I do love your icon. Um, I think. So what they said was while we're here is, and I played it. Basically, he said that the skaters wasn't that talented enough to be flying across the country to be going to these competitions, right? And it sounded very similar to me when I first heard it to what Michaela Skinner said about the Olympic team. And it's just so.
Basically, but something that really troubled me about it is he's insinuating to me that they kind of are to blame for their own deaths, like it was unnecessary.
Or like he was blaming their parents because they should have known that they're athletes. Hey, Licious, it's been such a long time, friend. Mwah. Uh, but I'm going to counter this with, not judgment, but, in every sport, every lower level athlete, you never know which gymnast, which figure skater is going to be that one. Like when Simone Biles was level 10 in a junior, you never would have thought that Simone Biles would have grew to be the gymnast that she would have grown to be. Um, so you send your skaters to these competitions and you never know what's going to happen. You never know if this is going to be their breakout moment where all of their training is finally going to pay off and they're going to hit every jump and it grows confidence and slowly but surely things out on top of each other. Like, that's just such an asinine thing to say, especially about children. I can see if this was like some 40-plus-year-old competition where there was really nothing to gain from it. But this was mostly kids. You never knew what their projection in figure skating could have been. Like, and that's just such a fucked up thing to say. Like, and for them to have a figure skating podcast, and again, I'm not trying to shit on them because once again, like I said before, I absolutely could have seen myself saying something very similar to that in the moment, heated, trying to get a point across. Absolutely. Um, so just don't judge them too harshly. But I will say again, in closing, it was very refreshing to watch the World Championships without them, though. So if they do ever come back and figure skating do forgive them, try to be less mean. Just you can express your opinions and lead in love and not in viciousness.
And that's good advice for everyone, I think. And I loved what you said. I totally agree. You don't have to be mean to be funny either.
You don't have to be mean to be funny. You don't have to bully people to be funny. Like once you cross over into being mean to be funny, now you're being a bully. You're not being funny, you're being a bully. And jokes can be mean and funny, so walk that fine line. Walk that fine line. Okay.
And that's a lesson myself and lots of people have to learn the hard way, you know? But hopefully, talking about this will start some thought processes with people who hadn't considered that and avoid that.
Absolutely. And just especially if you have a podcast or you're a part of a podcast, don't be so quick to villainize Dave. I think his name is Lise or Solis. Don't be so quick to vilify him because only but the grace of God have you not said those stupid words out of your own mouth. Like only but the grace of God, you were not the one to do it.
Do
So
we care about the men's figure skating? I didn't see any of it in person. I'd
I
be happy
saw
to talk about it or not talk about it.
I saw oh gosh, his name is Ilic? Ilion? It's like
Ilya.
that man can do jumps. That
Like
man
Ilya Kulik. You know Ilya Kulik, right?
yeah. That man can jump. That man can jump.
That quad axle really impressed me.
And for the first time for the men, I mean not for the men, for this figure skaters, like what? They won the women's, they won the men, and they won the damn ice dance. Like that was a very successful worlds for them.
That's a coincidence. That's suspicious. At home. Hmm.
And that
Kind of kind of giving Jessica Gadarova in Liverpool tease.
tease. And and y'all better moving back to gymnastics. Y'all better get into these men. Y'all better understand pommel horse and floor and these scales because if y'all don't think the Americans are going to send the best crop of men to this Olympic Games at home, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
But
But
why do
you're
you
not
say that
having-
as if people wouldn't expect that?
I don't think they think the Americans have the talent to do it.
Oh,
I'm
so you're
telling you,
saying expect the best team we've seen in decades? Why would that be true necessarily?
it's the repeat of the LA Olympics. If y'all don't think the Americans are the only Olympics that the Americans won, and it's a asterisk by that win. If y'all don't think, and then there's no Russians here. If y'all don't think the Americans are going to have Frederick and Coy and hell, they're probably going to be replaced by then doing Dragulescu's with extra half turns and
We don't know for sure that the Russians won't be there, but it's safe to assume.
not as a team. They might be there individually.
You never know. The FIG and the IOC are so unserious.
Very true. Very true.
I hated how all the people like who ran the ISU, the International Skating Union, someone from the maybe no one from the IOC was there, but like another organization at the medal ceremony, not one woman, all men. We need more women in positions of power in sports.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we need those women to not be corrupted by the male counterparts who were their coaches the generation beforehand.
I mean, of course, we don't want corruption from anyone, ideally, but I'd rather have a corrupt woman than a corrupt man any day.
I don't know about that one, sis. I don't know about that one. Whew, I don't know about that one. So fun 45 minutes worth of conversation of figure skating. Now let's move on to gymnastics.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yes. So Urza has its own pause. Okay. So far, we've seen, for the Americans now, we've seen more competitions for other nations, but for the Americans, we've had 3 competitions that we got to see the fresh crop of girls cropping up. We've had the Winter Cup. We've had the Antalya. Oh, I know I'm not saying that right. The Antalya competition in Turkey. And we had the DBT.
Oh, 4. We also had the gymnastics, but that was just juniors, I guess.
That was just the junior girls.
Okay.
That we got to see the new crop of girls competing. And I want to talk about it. I know some of y'all saw my solo show this morning. I'm going to stand on business. I'm going to piss a lot of y'all off because it's talented and it's great. And as excited as I am about my new darling Claire Pease, I don't think she has enough firepower to make this world team. I think Ashley Sullivan probably did my favorite floor routine of this year so far.
For sure.
I don't think she has the firepower to make this world team. Now, and I'm saying all of this very dependent on what these people in the NCAA who aren't saying anything about what they're going to choose to do or not do, what they actually do come a month from now. But it's just going to be hard. I don't think Simone Rose. Okay, let me just go by the top girls right now.
How many spots are available for the US for each country at this Worlds?
At this World, they changed the rules. It was going to be 3, but then they added the 4th person. So you could send a 4-person team. You could send two girls to do the all around, or I'm so sorry, 2 girls to do the all around and 2 event specialists. Or you could just send 3 all-around girls and be like, fuck that 4th person. And before you all say, the Americans would never do that, that's exactly what they did in 2013 with Michaela Maroney, Kyla Ross, and Simone Biles. They just used those 3 and was like, fuck that. Fuck you, Brenda Dow. Fuck you. So the USA could go either which way, but I'm pretty sure they're going to send 4 people. Like, it's Chelsea and Alicia. They're going to send 4 people. Now,
should we talk about who could make it? At first, just talk about people who have competed elite this season so far.
Yes, let's start off with that. Let's just start off with people who have competed elite gymnastics this season. Not NCAA gymnastics, elite gymnastics this year.
Oh, let me add an asterisk. We can talk about Miley Lou if we want to.
Sure, because she won't be there either. So we could talk about her because she won't be there either. I think from the girls that we saw, I think Claire and Jayla are probably most likely to be the two people that we want to send to the world and use them as in the all around. From what we saw now, we will see more, but from what we saw, I think that's what it's looking like. I think we want to.
Why would why would those two girls make more sense than Ashley when she's outscored them in the all around 2 times? 2 out of 2
I
times.
personally, I personally believe that each gymnast is not ready. Well, Jayla and Claire are not ready on all 4 events. Jayla does not have the firepower on floor. Like her floor routine is not ready, and
Agreed.
I feel like
Definitely.
Claire is due with some technical, as she's very young. So, and I just feel like has more experience. She has a lot of experience, and I've liked her gymnastics this season. She has a good set of difficulty on all 4 apparatuses. Well, minus
And she
both,
has
but she,
consistency.
that, yeah, she's known. I was impressed with her bar routine because she could not have swung bars back in 2022, but her bar routine looked really good, and they used her over Nola Matthews on bars, which was shocking
Oh, that
because
is
I assume bars
shocking.
is Nola thing, but
I'm so
yeah,
surprised. I haven't seen that competition in full. So they put up 2 or 3 routines on each event.
they bid 2 teams.
And they put Simone Rose and Ashley instead of Nola on bars.
Yeah.
Yes, but Simone she ate that, and so did
But
Ashley.
that's surprising. I mean, I think of Nola as a bar specialist with a an extra floor choreo or whatever.
They use Nola on beam and floor, I think.
Yes,
Hmm.
I should start pacing Simone Rose. She shouldn't have had a DTV by now. She did a 1.5 twisting Chico at DTP. And that's the other thing with this group of girls. I so understand this NIL and you all structuring y'all gymnastics for the NCAA. I understand. I do understand. But what y'all finna do with these your Chico 1.5 girls? Like, where y'all finna go with these your Chico 1.5?
Well, were any of the Yurchenko 1.5s outscoring Claire Pease's DTY?
I don't think
no,
so.
I believe not. Because Claire and Jayla have good DTYs. They have solid double
I think
twists.
Jayla's is a lot more technically sound, especially the block and the landing.
It really should be, seeing that she's older than Claire and is a better vaulter.
Yeah, I think she's just a better vaulter right now.
But is she? And we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Claire has such a crooked block, and she most of the time her landings are scary. She had a good landing at the World Cup, but I think
But
that was like a
look at
fluke.
who's her coach.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I don't have faith in Claire's
Her vaults are very scary.
vaults.
I think
Very
Claire's,
repetitive.
especially her laid out, well, her Lopez vault or her laid out Pocabaeva vault. I think they should have gave her credit for it being laid out. I don't understand why they still gave her credit for the pipe version.
I haven't seen that, but I will say, like, I think
I
Claire just
definitely
had a
give her
great
credit
competition. I've never seen her land her syllabus that well, ever.
I don't think anybody has.
But I believe that was her. I was gagged. Her floor routine was good. I enjoyed it.
Her floor routine was really good, and it was also
It was
pretty
her beam
entertaining.
routine that was gagging me. I'm like, wow, Clara, this beam, like, wow, like,
No, she's had a
wow.
good beam since she was a junior.
Had a good beam and hitting a good beam is two different things.
No, I've seen her hit beam as a junior very well. She won that Tour de Combe, that junior competition.
But I am impressed with Claire
Comme
with
they
her.
will, Comme they will.
That's what I
Mhm.
meant.
I'm impressed with Claire with her Indo half to
Love
her
her low bar work to in bar full.
to her Imbar full to her Komova
Ooh,
Yes.
I think she does Komova
to
to
Katya.
Kachev. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. It was gorgeous.
and it's not like any of those pirouetting handstands were so late either. She did a great job.
And this is why when we get to the next level, I think Claire more than any of these other girls has the potential to make the worlds, even if other people come back, because I think Claire is just better than them on uneven bars. Maybe
Mm.
not Simone Rose, but see, Claire does way more hard of a routine than Simone Rose does. So
Definitely,
Claire's
Simone's only
composition
real
is very
difficulties with dismount.
Claire's composition is very appeasing to an even bar finals and to
Definitely.
yes.
How was Simone Rose's floor at DTB? Because at Winter Cup
she
it was
didn't do
kind of
floor.
sloppy. Okay,
She only did vault and bars. And then Nola did beam and floor, and then Ashley did everything. Which, okay, pause. USA Gymnastics, this was some bullshit. You had this huge ass competition in Germany where you could have sent a whole juniors team for the women.
Mm-hmm.
You could have sent a whole senior team for the women,
Mm-hmm.
and again a separate team to do mixed pairs. Why would you
Mm-hmm.
only send a mixed pair team? Like y'all let China come and eat everything up because China came and ate everything up because they were the top team. Like I don't understand why wouldn't you send?
so the U.S. women did not compete in the team final. The mixed pairs is 2 women, 2 men on each event.
Yes,
Okay,
Yes. And it's
and
6
they won
athletes
the
for a
mix.
team in total, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea why they wouldn't send a women's team.
Maybe it's
My
because
only, yeah, I don't think they're ready.
Yeah, maybe they didn't
yeah,
want to lose.
they didn't want to send athletes out to give them a bad look early in the
But
season.
I think that's the wrong strategy for this rebuilding phase. You have to send them out. You have to let them come in second and third and fourth place. Just to, so because if y'all sit there and keep them a secret, every time Charlize and Jordan and Leanne, when they decide to come back, they're just gonna beat them because they just have way more competition experience and way more, you know, experience underneath their belts. Like y'all have to compete these girls. Like Nola,
Did the U.S. win the mixed pairs, or did the
yeah,
men let them down?
no, they did good. They won. They won. I don't think China sent a mixed pairs team though. So maybe that was the agreement. China gets the team competition and America gets the mixed pairs competition. I don't know.
Did we see one DTY from the women?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not. Maybe from Canada. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Let me look at the results because I want to see if Leah went from Canada.
Nisha, I think y'all are really full of yourselves. You and addicts for thinking that Leanne is gonna retire. Like, what has she done to make you even believe that that's like she's adding skills to her gymnastics now? Like, Leanne is not gonna retire.
And
Leanne is like,
Alex saying she's tired as if she hasn't competed when she's exhausted.
Johnny Paris said he thinks it's the black girl from Canada did a DTY. And that's what I was thinking too.
Gabrielle Black, she only scored a 13-1 in the all-around.
Maybe in the team competition because it was a separate team all around.
For the vault final, Gabrielle Black won. Oh, Lisa Valen made a return. She's been out from an injury from Belgium, but she has not regained her difficulty. She used to have a nice Rudy. Gabrielle Black had a 4.6, which must be a Yurchenko 1.5, and a 4.4. I'm guessing a Sukful. But why would she do that and not get the bonus? It must be, maybe it's a different vault.
Maybe she just don't know a front forward ball. I understand that we are over
Nina
some
Derwall.
people.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Nina Derwall was here and she placed 3rd on bars.
Oh wow, I didn't even know.
She scored a 12-9 with a 5.6 routine and a 7.3 execution. Unless this is a different Nina Derwall from Belgium. And she won the beam final with a 13-9. I didn't see one person talk about this.
Me either. Me either. Me either.
That's crazy. They gave her an 8.4 execution on beam with a 5.5 routine.
Now let's take this world. Okay, so did everybody name the 4 people we think? Because I think I did. From the people who've done elite gymnastics this year now, not from the next group of girls. So from the people we saw do elite gymnastics, who are the 4 girls? Who, if you're being Marta Caroli right now, who is your 4-person team and what events are they doing?
I'm definitely bringing Claire Pease to do the all-arounds. And because I think she could literally make it all 4 finals, potentially. All 5 finals. I want to bring Ashley Sullivan to do the all-arounds, but I have to think about it. The other names would be Simone Rose and Jayla Hang, and there's this new girl who's great, but not. I've only seen her compete at Winter Cup, and I need to see her again, Alicia Rose, but she really impressed me. So I'm not bringing Alicia based off of Winter Cup, and would it make maybe I bring Simone Rose to do bars and floor, and Jayla to do vault and beam. I think I like that.
I'm not opposed to that team. I would still use Jayla in the all around and use Ashley.
To me, I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, Ashley and Jayla. Jayla's the better vaulter. Bars, they're pretty even, I think. They're both mid-ish.
Which is shameful.
What'd you say, Erza?
It's very shameful.
What, that they're the same on bars?
That Jayla, because as far as I'm concerned, Ashley shouldn't even, but she did.
And she had no business being that good on bars in Germany.
Yes.
And we all know Jayla has a more difficult routine in the works. Same with Simone Rose, but their coach loves to hold them back and pace them. And, you know, they haven't really had any injuries. So maybe it's the right decision. Who knows?
I just want to say with Jayla, if you're going to do a chung in real life, it better not be no damn pipe 1.5 twist vault. You might as well just get that vault named after you, girl. If your Chunga tip is horrible, no tea, no shade. I'm not talking about you as the person. I'm talking about the actual Chunga tip.
I think
Also,
just to continue, I think that Jayla is the better beamer, but Ashley's more consistent on beam. And on floor, Ashley definitely is the better floor worker right now. So I just don't see. It's not like, I don't know. Ashley used to have a DTY. She downgraded this season. I think
she could
Ashley
not
is
have
the
landed
better
that
all
vault.
arounder right now.
She was basically breaking her ankles every time trying to land that double twisting Yachenko. And it
Well,
was
her
a
1.5 looked very powerful. Maybe she's gotten better on vault. I don't know. I want Miley Lu too, Nisha. I want her to do everything, the all around.
Don't
Sweep the
forget
podium.
about my girl Tiana and Dulcie. Mostly Tiana.
We're not there. We're talking about new.
Oh.
We're talking about. Oh well, they both did compete. I thought we were talking about new people. We're actually just talking about
We're
people
just
who
talking about
competed.
anybody who did elite gymnastics this year. I think
Yeah, no WCC girls on my team.
But
Hater.
but Tiana, we haven't seen Tiana this year, so I'm not going to add her into this. I'm going to save Tiana for the next group that I'm going to talk about, and I'm also going to save Esley for the next group that we're going to, because Esley did do beam, but that wouldn't have made no world team. So we're going to save Esley for the next tier of girls that I want to talk. Well, I could just move on right now. Urza, who's your team?
My
I think
team
you
for
said
the
your team, right?
gymnasts who have competed so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, for all around, I'm sending Ashley Sullivan, hoping that she gets a double twist back. Definitely her. The second all around spot, I was gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to Jayla.
Ooh.
Shaking
Surprisingly,
table. Shaking tables.
I'm gonna give it to Jayla. Hopefully she gets time as it's time for Worlds or something. Specialist, I want Claire for beam and bars, and for vault and floor. Well, no,
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
want.
send for
Okay, I'm gonna use Claire for. Oh my god! Oh, give me a second, y'all.
You're realizing you need to use Claire for the all around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
I'm gonna switch Claire and Jayla out. I'm gonna use Jayla for Vault and BM.
Exactly.
And for floor and bars. For right now, I'm gonna give it to. It's really between Simone and Nola.
Kamara Williams. Exactly.
Sure.
Let's shake it up. Give me Nola Matthews.
Zoe Malomo.
Oh yeah. She doesn't have the difficulty just as yet.
She's coming.
Give her
very, very slowly, but she's coming.
But yeah,
I mean, if you're just going to use Nola for bars and floor, that makes sense.
That does make sense, but I prefer Simone Rose.
Yeah, Nola and for bars and floor, Angela for vault and BM. That's my team.
Okay, now let's
my
step
team
it
would
up.
beat yours.
Who me?
Both of your teams, but I was talking to Urza.
So let's step it up. So now we have to take into consideration. Let's not even use the Olympians. Just all of the people who aren't in the NCAA who could possibly try for this world team. So we have Charlize Jones, we have Tiana, we have Esley, we have Miley Lu, we have who else haven't we seen?
Michelle Pineda? No.
Madre
She's a piece from
Johnson.
Mexico, right?
Yeah, she won bronze before
Oh,
recently. She just won.
oh,
She
that's a
won
good
bronze at
name.
the CM World Cup. Madre Johnson.
She totally did. I was joking. I love Michelle.
Madre. Um, so out of
Evelyn
all the
Lowe.
Evelyn Lowe, who else? It's other people.
Well, Evelyn did compete at Winter Cup. Just thought of her.
So from that group of girls, who
Does
do
Kayla
we?
DiCello count?
She's gonna go with the NCAA girls.
Okay.
From this group of girls, of just people who we know has the talent, but we just haven't seen them compete this year so far. Added to the names that we've already talked about. Now pick your team. Because now none of the people that we talked about will be on my team.
Really?
Yeah, well, maybe Claire. I'll go first. So my team with just added those names would be Shilese as the all-arounder. Um,
So we're not talking about Simone or Suni.
I think Simone has already said she's not trying for this world. Now,
Okay.
Suni hasn't said that she was or weren't, but I don't think that she would. But I wouldn't be surprised if she did try for this world, to be honest.
You know who I want to mention also, even though I wouldn't necessarily put her on any team, but I'm a big fan of a gymnast, Cambry Haynes. Do you know her?
Mm-mm.
She has great skill selection. She was doing front aerial, split jump, back handspring, layout, step out, a nodi, side aerial for no connection value. She does those forward toe-ons on bars.
Mm.
Okay. Do you have your team, Trinity Thomas?
I don't think she's. I mean, she might. I don't know. Like we could go forever of who. And hell, let's. And you know what? Let's not even do it. Let's just add the NCAA girls into this too, because then you have Jocelyn, who I think is going to try for this world. We have Leanne. I know y'all don't want Leanne to try for this world, but
I
Leanne
do.
Ward is definitely trying for this world's team. We have Jordan Charles, who I also believe is going to try for this world's team.
Michaela, remember I told you I fully expect this world's all-around podium to be a repeat of the last post-Olympics world all-around podium?
With Melnikova, Leanne, and Kelly DeSella.
Yes.
I think it's going to be Melnikova. No, I think it's actually going to be Jordan, Leanne, and Melnikova. Well, it depends on Charlize. Okay, it all depends on what Charlize got going on and if the NCAA girls choose to continue. But if everybody, not Simone, not Suni, not Gabby Douglas, but if everybody just tries the way I think they can, I think the world team goes Charlize, Jordan, Leanne,
Don't
Connor
you have to
McClain.
say what events they're doing?
Yes, and then even with Jocelyn, I think Leanne beats Jocelyn because I don't think Jocelyn is going to do a chung this year. But I mean, if Jocelyn has a chung back, then Jocelyn is on the team over somebody.
I totally think Jocelyn is gonna try a chung because
You
she's
think
been
Jocelyn?
doing the Lopez all season.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll be surprised if she doesn't, Sean.
So I think the world team goes. If I don't think Charlize is gonna try the all around, but maybe.
But this is your team. You get to decide.
Okay, yeah, this is my team. Okay, so my teammate goes. Simone and Leanne are our top two all arounders. Not Simone. So Jordan and Leanne are our top two all arounders. Charlize is doing bars and beam. Jocelyn is doing floor and vault. Oh, Connor. Damn it. Okay, well, here we go. Nisha, this is for you. Leanne doesn't make this team not over Connor. I just don't think she would. It would be
What were you bring? You were bringing her to do vault and floor, or the all around? The all around. I love that for you.
the all around. So it would be Jordan and Connor are my top two all arounders that I'm using in the all around. I'm using Charlize to do bars and beam, and I'm using Jocelyn to do floor and vault.
Interesting.
So I'm saying I don't think Claire, I don't think Ashley, I don't think Simone Rose. I just don't think it's that talent class from 2017 all the way to 2021. I think that's one of the greatest class of gymnasts America has ever produced. And I don't think even this class of gymnasts can top that class.
No, this class is not that impressive so far. I mean, it just started, but
Oh, Johnny, I never thought about that. Jordan can't compete until she returns the medal.
wait, I've literally never heard that before. How do you know that? Where did you hear that?
I don't, because it's still in arbitration. I think if that was the final decision, she would have to send.
I'm wary about believing that since this is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Urza, do you know who you would send? I need more time to think about it. Urza, darling.
He will be back. What about you? Who would you take? 4-person team. Now you can always choose to just send 3 people now. You don't have to send 4 people.
But I can't even think of a situation with these gymnasts where that would make more sense.
You
Because only
send
2
Jordan and
people are
Connor.
making it to the all around. So what? What are you even? What's your strategy in sending 3 all arounders? That
You're fighting for event spots. You think that nobody else can make an event final over those top 3 girls?
I think the field is weak this year, and we have way more than 4 girls if we're including all of these crazy names who are unrealistic, in my opinion, that could make event finals. Like in 2013, how many girls were left at home that could have made a world event final?
Brenna Dowell.
Yeah, that's one, I'm saying.
Who was around in 2013? Let me think.
Maybe Elizabeth Price, Caitlin Ohashi.
All of them girls.
Well, Caitlin couldn't have gone. Okay. I would definitely want to bring who's my first pick? It's like so unclear. I don't like it just feels like make believe choosing the NCAA any of the veterans who haven't said that they're explicitly, trying to return.
It does feel like make believe. That's why we're playing this game.
I think I'm not gonna choose Hesley on my team, but like Hesley has the potential based off of what There's so many gymnasts from the U.S. team that could be the like literal world all-around champion. I think this year, if they put the pieces together, are able to. And Hesley is in that group. I think Claire Pease could be the 2025 world champion. Do I think Jordan Childs could be the world champion? Maybe.
You don't think if it was a competition with just Claire Pease at her best and Jordan Childs at her best, you don't think Jordan would beat that girl easily?
No, she obviously would. I just I'm impressed that Claire Pease put these good performances at this competition, but Jordan Childs has put out great performances before. When I think of Jordan Childs, I think of her poor performances before I think of her great performances for whatever reason.
What are we talking about?
I'm just talking, yapping, trying to figure out my team. I wanted you to choose your team first so I could have time.
Who would be your team, Urza? Everybody, including the NCAA girls.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be the 4 people?
Oh, I think I know. My first pick, though, would be Kalia Lincoln.
She already said she's not.
Achilles. Okay, my team. Okay. I'm going to take everything in consideration with the NCAA season being taxing. I'm going to say some girls are going to try to take this year off. So my team would be Hesley, Tiana, Claire, and Jayla.
For what? What are you bringing them for?
Okay, Hesley for all around. She has to do it. They're definitely taking her for all around. Tiana for all around as well. Tiana for beam and floor.
See, if you use Tiana, then
I was thinking Tiana for beam and floor and Jayla for bars and ball. And Jocelyn, if she's feeling good enough, I'll put Jocelyn over. Jayla. No, I'll put Jocelyn over
Nisha, I know. You all love to kill my fantasy. I'm not being serious.
Yeah, Kalia Lincoln says she's not doing elite this year. Carrie says she's not doing elite this year. Those are the only 2. And Kayla DeCello is obviously hurt, so she's not doing elite this year. But those are the only ones that have explicitly. Those are the only ones who have. At first, I was saying no, but because it's an individual world, I can see her trying to make the team just to do beam.
That's crazy. And it's even crazier if they take it for that.
They would. They're going to try to rack up as much medal. And so, yeah.
I think this could change day to day. Tomorrow, I could have a totally different team if they drop some training videos. Today, April 1st, 2025, I'm taking my first pick is going to be Claire Pease. Then I'm going to choose, I guess I'm going to choose Connor McLean, even though like it's total make-believe. We haven't seen her floor, but
yes,
whatever.
We've seen her train a double twisting her chinkle again.
Training.
Okay. We also seen her train a full twisting her full tumbling again on floor. So I mean,
you sound like Nisha and
Connor,
Shayna.
Connor's in a good position. Well, not Connor's in a good. She's not. She's in a good position to make a team. And with Worlds being
I
in
guess she
October,
is. I'm so wary. I just
But
like
I mean,
I'll
like
believe it when I see it.
Connor is a more realistic person to say than like Sky, who like we barely seen her get through an NCAA beam routine. Where like Connor's like we've seen like the progression of Connor, like her. She has a lot of her elite skills back now. Now, do I think Connor has routines? That's a whole different,
I know.
thought.
I want yeah, I want to see routines. That's all I'm saying. Actually, I don't even know what I would take Connor for. Because they took out her standing full, they took out her triple series.
that's to protect her ankle for the season, not necessarily for the entire season. I'm sure she's still training them.
But see, they did that the same thing last year, where she was just doing the front walkover back handspring, and then come classes, she was at her back handspring full twist. I mean, back handspring, back layout. The only thing she was missing at classic was a dismount.
I was ready to take her to the Olympics at Classic.
I personally think, realistically, out of all the NCAA gymnasts, I say Connor has the best. Well, not the best chance, but like, don't be too shocked if she has a full set time as it's time for Worlds. I would not be shocked if she has a full set.
And with Jordan, the thing that made me realize that Jordan was trying for Worlds is when she started doing her triple double again, because that just made no sense. But then I'm like, oh, Worlds, yeah, she wants to try for Worlds, like.
It's so difficult.
And then clearly Jocelyn has the most skill potential of them all. I didn't say form potential, I said skill potential.
What if I brought Claire Pease to do the all around? And I brought okay. I want to bring Connor to. If Connor was definitely going to do beam, but she's not going to do the all around, what's her second best event?
Floor.
Yeah.
See, it's unclear.
It's.
Are we bringing Connor just to do beam? Can she handle that pressure?
I mean, every other year they took her to the Worlds just to do beam.
1 year, and it didn't go well.
It was her first World Championships.
That's right. I'm just like, it's not a lot to go off of. I don't feel confident about that pick.
It was. She just switched gyms. For her personally, for her to have, and she was inconsistent at World Trials, for us to expect anything out of her at Worlds.
Who is the best? Okay, maybe this is what I'm doing. Maybe I'm taking Claire Pease to do the all around. I'm taking. Right now, I would pick Ashley Sullivan, but maybe I would pick Jordan Childs or Connor McLean if they showed me routines to be the second all-arounder.
You would take Ashley Sullivan over a gymnast like Hesley Rivera or Tiana?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But maybe Hesley can I know Hesley can be Ashley in the all around, but I need to see routines as well. That's why I'm not choosing her today. And then I would pick. Mm, who's a good bars and beam person? Maybe I pick Sky Blakely to do bars and beam,
Tiana Somerset.
and I would pick Leanne to do vault and floor. That's my team.
Leanne needs to sit down.
I'm telling y'all, when Leanne becomes world champion this year, y'all are gonna be gad. Y'all are gonna be gad when
No,
Leanne
she
becomes
needs-
world champion this
And I would.
I'm gonna cry if that happens. Happy tears.
It's one of those things in which I want it for her, but like every year she's compete. And some may say she's like needs to be that. I mean, there's always that one gymnast that needs to compete in like every season, every competition to do good, but like that hasn't really proven well for her, in my opinion, to not get full rest.
No, definitely not.
But that's just me.
No, definitely not. But
Is there a gymnast who's competed as an elite from what she's 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 24, 25? This would be her 7th consecutive season.
the only person that has a longer record is Jade Carey, but Jade Carey already said she's not competing this year.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Wow, Jade went 8 seasons in a row. Mother.
So, Urza, this is your shining moment, friend. Let's move on from
Let's
elite
get it.
gymnastics because we've been here for a while and we've had a nice conversation. But now we're killing a dead horse because
There's nothing
world-
else to say with DTB. We haven't talked about any international gymnasts.
Yeah, we're saving that for future topics. Because
Kalani Moore competes in every. She did great. That's enough.
Oh, I do want to say this. And this is no shade to nobody because learning is growing. When you watching gymnastics, and this is how I learned from watching gymnastics that this is true. When it's those Asian countries, China, Japan, Korea, they use their, so if the name is like Cho Chu Song, Chu Song is the girl's first name. Sang is her last name. So, just keep that in mind when you're watching gymnastics and figure skating and they're calling out these people names. They use their family names first and their first names last in those cultures. So, piece of gymnastics knowledge that will help you grow in the future.
Yes.
And gymnastics
So it would be it'll be Yushan OU. Is what?
Yes. That guy would be in America. It would be Yushan OU, but it's OU Sean. But OU is her last name. Wait, Yushan is her first name. Nisha. Okay. So, the regionals of it all. Urza, can you please do a much better job than me of explaining to the people what the regionals are and especially what the play-ins are?
What about me? I could do a great job.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll be quiet.
Urza, did you go walk away from the pool?
Oh no, I'm here. Okay, so NCAA regionals, it 32 teams in total. The top 32 teams with the highest NQS for the entire season. They're all split up into 4 different regionals. 7 teams have automatic spots into the team competition, so 7 teams automatically make it, and 2 teams will compete in a play-in, which starts tomorrow. And the play-in is that the 4 lower teams, because there are 2 play-in teams for every regionals, the 4 lower teams who just missed the mark of automatically qualifying a team will compete against each other in a dual meet, and the top team will automatically qualify for the last spot in the first or second session of the regionals, which makes it harder because they're tired from competing one day and immediately competing the next day. That's why it's really hard for a playing team. But yeah, and also the playing teams also have individuals. So if, let's say, Clemson goes against NC State in the play-ins, and NC State beats Clemson, some individuals that are already qualified, they would still compete with other teams in the next day. So are done with that. But the individual aspirations.
Cool. And can you explain to the people why this is the beginning of the real NCAA season? How like everything that we've been paying attention to for the last 3 months do not mean shit, and now we're into the playoffs.
Yes. So the playoffs is a do or die situation. It does not matter if you're the best team in the country. If you're off on one day and off in a meet and you finish third or fourth, you're finished. Your season's over, and it's really what gets everybody excited. And so LSU, no team is confirmed a spot into the Elite Eight. No team. Every team can mess up. It's gonna be a fun.
And even if you make the Elite Eight, there's no guarantee that you still make it to championship, because making it to the Elite Eight is not the national championships. I mean, it is the national championships, but it's the prelims of the national championships. To win national championships, you have to make it to the final day.
You have to be one of the top 2 teams in each session. So there are 2 sessions. The top 2 teams in each session are done. So you might have been the best team coming out of regionals, but if you're the worst team in your session at nationals, you're done.
So can you explain to the people, because even I don't know this one, so this is me asking, how does all of this happen between tomorrow and Saturday? Like, how are all of this gymnastics going to happen over these next 2 days?
Because regionals are happening at the same time, even on their different locations in different regions. It's like an hour or 2 hours later or earlier than each other. On a different network. ESPN, Big Ten Network, all those networks. So, yeah, just like the conference championships, it's going to be worse. So if you say, I want to watch LSU compete, but also my favorite team, Florida's competing at the same time, 2 devices, one on TV, one on app, it's going to be fun.
And what else is fun about this competition is we finally get into the competition's meaning and stuff, where once you lose, you're lost and you're out of the playoff. So you have to imagine you guys are watching, what's that shit, March Madness?
Yes.
So it's kind of similar to that, where you have to win in order to advance. If you don't win, you're going to be eliminated.
Absolutely. And it's upsets. So you are, if you're the number 3 seed, you could lose to the number 14 seed, and you get sent home very early. So it's gonna be fun, y'all.
Is there
It's gonna be heartbreaking to see y'all.
are y'all of the opinion that y'all don't want to see OU advance Oklahoma? I've seen so many
To
mean
the
people.
Elite Eight. Or to
Like
the Final Four floor.
Hell, people don't even want them to advance past day 1. So
at nationals or regionals or what?
Regionals day 1. Regionals round 1.
When is the second round of regionals?
The second round is the finals. So that's when the top 2 teams in the first round of the first 2 sessions qualify. But OU should have no problem getting to Elite 8 because they have no competition.
yeah,
Which sucks.
Aren't they going against Alabama or Arkansas?
No, that's a different regionals.
Oh my goodness.
Their biggest competition, I believe, is Auburn.
Auburn, maybe that's what I was
But I will
thinking of.
confirm.
Okay.
I'm going to confirm now.
but let's keep it real. They are going to have a hard time advancing past that because I think it's them in Florida in the same. Oh no, that's when they get to the big. That's when they get to the Big 8. It will be them and somebody in Florida and somebody.
Yes,
No,
it would be OU, Florida, UCLA.
OU, Florida, UCLA. The thing I'm looking at has
So,
them all
the
on
Oklahoma-
different branches. Like they're not going to face off. UCLA, OU, and Florida are not going to. They can't face off until they get to the Final
Until they
Four.
make it to the Elite 8. No, until the Elite 8.
Oh, does it work that the? I thought
So-
that the Final 8. It's like still 4 sets of 2. 4 different
No, it
dual
is.
meets.
They just
So how could those
No.
3 face each other?
how good
Yes.
Florida.
How could
'Cause-
UCLA, OU, and Florida face each other at the Final 8?
Because if they all advance past regionals, they definitely Oklahoma and Florida will definitely be meeting up as well as fine for the Elite 8. So if all 3 of those teams advance, they'll be meeting up in session 2 of the Elite 8.
Nisha said because OU and Florida are on.
So OU will be competing again.
So once they get to the
Yeah.
8, there will be in session together. So they both will have to advance from the Big 8 to the 4 on the floor together.
Can I share my screen for a second just to show you what I'm looking at?
Yes.
Absolutely, friend.
Absolutely.
This is just some random person on Twitter. It's not important. But they filled in their predictions. And maybe you'll be able to make sense of what I'm saying. Why it looks like Florida on the bottom in the blue wouldn't face against Oklahoma in the brown.
They definitely
Can you
will
see
because
Until the
You guys see my computer now?
what? You guys are talking at the same time.
I was saying, can you see my computer mouse?
I don't know. I don't think so. Can you, Urza? No, but I wish I could.
I don't know.
Can you get rid of the chat since you
Okay,
since you zoomed in? That works too.
No.
Okay, so
How do I keep
Oscar.
Oh, there we
There we go.
So
go.
as you
So this
as you
is
can
why.
see,
So this is why what we're saying. Okay, you see how? Oh gosh, I wish I could see my damn mouse because I'm trying to point. But you see how OU and Florida are on this half, and then LSU and UTLA are on this half.
The
Well, if
left
everything,
side, the right and the left. You mean?
correct. Well, if everything plays out the way this person said in this session of the NCAA, so which will happen on Thursday, the 17th of April, MSU, Oklahoma, California, and Florida has to go against each other. So Florida and Oklahoma have to win 1 and 2 in this session.
You said MSU. What were the 4 teams? MSU, LSU.
I'm sorry, Missouri, Oklahoma, Cal, and Florida. How they have these teams in this.
Yes. Okay.
So in this day on the 17th, I believe this is the night session of SEC. So it will come on like around 7 o'clock on Thursday on ESPN. These
So
4 teams.
it's just a coincidence that they have Oklahoma on top and Florida on the bottom at the final. Those 4 teams will be for a quad meet, not a 2 dual meets.
Yes, it's going to be a quad meet.
No.
Oh.
Correct. So they have to be 1 and 2 in order for this to happen. So
Okay,
if
that was
Missouri,
confusing me. I thought it was 2 dual meets.
no. So like at last year, Oklahoma came in 3rd place, so they didn't qualify to the championships. It was
final, the
Cal,
final floor.
Yeah, it was Cal and somebody else.
It was
so just
Cal.
like on this side. I think it was Cal and Utah, actually.
Yes.
So on this side,
Which side? The right side, the left side?
the right side, in order for this to play out the way they wanted, for it to be UCLA and Utah, which that's some bullshit.
Oh, we're talking about the left side. Okay.
Oh, yeah. MSU, LSU, UCLA, and Utah will have to fight against each other to see who is the top 2 teams to go to the 4 on the floor. I'm hoping it would be MSU and UCLA.
Yes.
Ooh, not LSU.
So sorry, Nisha.
No.
I don't want it to be Oklahoma
For
or
the drama of it
LSU.
all.
I want it.
Look, they have, this is their prediction, and then they have their dream. They want Stanford
And
to
there's a
beat
reason that's a
UCLA.
dream.
Girl,
There's a reason that's a dream. There is a reason.
Girl,
Georgia!
Scroll up, please. Scroll up.
Okay.
girl,
There's a reason that's
girl.
a dream.
That's a nice fantasy.
And Oscar, do you want to do this? Because we did this like the last show. So do you want to fill out your bracket?
Right now?
Yes.
Oh, you guys did that? That's so fun.
Yes, that was the last show. That was the entire last show.
Is there somewhere I can find a blank one, or should I just do it off of this?
Just do it off of that. Just, because they have the right teams at the first day in the right places. You just have to start from your play-in.
So I'll start on the upper left, and I'll go down the left side, and then I'll start at the upper right and go down?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I would pick Kentucky and
Wait,
Michigan
start with the
State.
play-in. Start with your play-in team.
I thought
Which
I
are the
was.
two? Which are the 2 teams way in the corner?
Right, Kentucky and MSU.
No, Oscar.
No.
What?
Do you see the
The
2
upper
teams
left.
all the way
Look
at the
for
bottom? to left. The two
Oh, I said I
teams.
was starting at the upper right, at the upper left. I had to start the lower left.
Oh no, that's not how it works.
Okay. Well, I said it, and you guys both said okay.
I wasn't understanding. You have to start with your playing teams because your playing teams is what's going to start off tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then your playing teams will help you choose the next
So
series.
the playing teams are the ones that they wrote in. So that first one I was talking about doesn't have one, or Penn State is the playing because there's an asterisk.
Yeah, so that's the first. So that's their first prediction. They're thinking Penn State is going to beat whoever else they're competing against to make it into the conversation.
I wonder why they don't have the options, because with the next one they have WW and West Virginia and Maryland.
So for that playing, they're saying that West Virginia would advance and beat Maryland, so they would go into the session between LSU, Arkansas, Michigan.
Right. So I'm wondering why they didn't do that for Penn State.
Where is Penn State?
It's in the upper left. It's just very small. You can't. It's the last one of the first four on the left. But there's an asterisk next to it. Okay, let me just start with Maryland versus West Virginia.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know them. I just don't. But they have numbers next to them. And
exactly, that's why it's hard, because it's 9 times out of 10, none of these teams are going to win, but it would be great if they advance.
It would be a miracle because they're going to be tired.
Shayna, I'm so sorry, friend. I just not realized she wasn't waiting. I'm so sorry.
Should I go to BYU versus Utah State?
Oh no, that's a completely different regional. Continue with this.
I know. Regional. I thought I did Maryland, West Virginia. Oh, keep going with that one? Okay.
Yes.
So now should I do the upper bracket or the lower bracket?
Start with the lower bracket, since you just said you think Maryland would beat West Virginia. So it would be LSU.
I think it's going to be LSU and Michigan. Keep going with that one or do the upper one now?
So you're saying that LSU and Michigan would advance to the regional final. So yes, you can go to the upper part of the bracket now.
Okay, I think it will be MSU and Kentucky, just like this person had it. Then is it a quad meet or 2 dual meets?
It's going to be a quad meet.
It's all quad meets.
Okay. I think it will be, I agree with this person. I think Michigan and Kentucky will get knocked out.
Yes, I agree. So you're saying MSU and LSU would advance to the Elite Eight?
Yes. Urza, do you think that Arkansas or Michigan has a better chance of advancing to that quad meet?
I said Arkansas. I said Arkansas the last time.
Personally. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, Shayna.
I'm doing okay. I've been a busy gal. How y'all been?
I'm great, thank you.
It's been good.
Did you enjoy your trip?
I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. Thank you.
I'm so glad you did. How you been, Urza and Michaela?
It's been good. School has been stressful, but getting through it.
I understand. I moved. I'm back in school again, working. So yeah.
But we have a full break. We have a full weekend's break next week, so the Lord is good.
We have gymnastics this week, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the regionals are more exciting than nationals. They'd be a lot closer to me.
Shayna, do you think Michigan or Arkansas?
What about them?
Who's gonna advance with
Neither.
LSU?
Neither.
Well, then is it gonna be Maryland or West Virginia?
Oh,
No,
you're talking about the meet.
he's
Let me
saying
see.
who's going to advance to the regional finals with LSU.
Arkansas or Michigan?
Where's the regional Penn State? Oh, that's kind of tough. I would go with Arkansas.
Okay.
Yes.
Based off they really have something to prove, I think, with but Michigan did really good at home. But I think Arkansas more than Michigan. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my answer.
So now should I go to the bottom left?
Oh,
Yes.
Or am I taking too long? Should I stop, Michaela?
No, continue.
Tell me if you're bored.
No, I feel like you're learning about this, and like you wasn't here the whole day that we all went through it. So I do want your opinions, and we're just teaching you about this
yeah.
bracket stuff.
Great, I appreciate all the knowledge. Thank you for sharing. And the patience. Okay, I think
I mean, I just wrapped up just because I hadn't spoken to y'all, so I just joined on. I don't know what y'all were talking about. I remember Michaela was like, "Join us, sis." I had to take care of something. So I want to pick Oscar. Do you think your beloved Georgians are going to make it
to the Final Four?
To the Final 8?
Well, I had to look at it more thoroughly. That they're the next one after this one that I'm looking at.
Okay.
But I hope so, God willing. BYU versus Utah State.
I said BYU.
Oh my God, that's why y'all can't see my mouth, because this is Oscar's screen. So I can see Oscar's mouth.
Oh, you can see my mouth?
Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Great. Okay.
So who is this prediction for? Who that we're watching right now?
Oh, it's not important.
We just use some random person's thing so we can have the graphic.
Okay. So they're for the Oklahoma.
They are.
It has to be a LSU, UCLA in that order.
Okay, I'm gonna choose Utah State as well. Then Utah, Utah State, Stanford, Denver. I think it will be Utah and Stanford. Up here, I think it will be UCLA, Minnesota, Southern Utah, Boise State.
Don't have the firepower.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to just. I'm not trying to copy this person, but UCLA and Minnesota are my picks.
They're accurate to this point. It's these Nets that are pissed. I'm like, huh?
Minnesota. Remind me who's on Minnesota's team.
What?
Maya Houghton.
Why did I think she was on Denver's team? Who's on Denver?
They got Ava Stewart as well. They have a great freshman who doesn't get the air.
Denver.
Is anyone cool on Denver?
They have Riley Mundell. They have
Bella Mavanta.
A sophomore pike front half. I
shout
forgot her
out
name. She's good.
Mila Brush. That was Aria Brush's sister. Their mother passed away from cancer earlier at the end of last year. And she's been doing well, trying to recover from that and still, keep on with her life. She's the black girl on Denver's team.
That's great. I'm happy for her.
And her sister was at Auburn, Aria Brush. Um,
Oh yeah, that's sad.
and their mother passed away. So shout out to her. You know, to still be doing gymnastics. If anyone has ever lost a parent, especially a mother, that is that's tough to go through. So shout out to her to keep going. Denver is a real tough school, academic
Yes.
wise, and then for her to continue on, and this has been her best season for there. So shout out to the people that aren't the Jay Carries and Jordans and the Leannes of the college world.
Yes.
Definitely. Um, okay, I think UCLA, Minnesota, Utah, Stanford. I would pick UCLA and Stanford personally.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Give me the drama.
yes, Oscar. I said the same thing.
Give me the
I
upset.
agree. That's why I don't see why they will put Utah up there.
Utah is
But
like Utah can't
Give me
lose.
the upsets.
They've always advanced. Their regional is at home. Okay.
It's gonna be at their home this year also.
Yeah, the regional is
Yes.
in Utah, so it's like people are saying it's no way Stanford can win, but Stanford and Utah just scored the same at their conference meets. So
But I'm worried about this home scoring.
It will be horrible.
well, you should be definitely worried about it in the next one.
Utah gets to host two regionals.
no, they hosted the Big 12 championship, um, which is basically a home meet. It was in the Maverick Center. I don't know exactly. I think this one is. I don't know if it's at Utah or if it's at the Maverick Center. I don't know.
It was at
We
the
would be
Maverick Center, I believe.
unhappy. I think we would all be unhappy, but would we be how shook would we be if it was Utah and Stanford that advance?
I would
Zero
not be
percent
shocked.
shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked. To tell you the truth, the only people I would be shocked that didn't make it would be LSU, Oklahoma, and Florida. I really feel like everyone else, based on just track record, it could be a possibility. UCLA doesn't have a good day.
We're gonna
It
make
could,
it. We're gonna
I
make it.
want them to make it, and I want to have faith in them, and they look great. Um, so, but I would not be shocked if they did not.
Oh no, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Especially after their performance in basketball, beating LSU,
Yeah,
which
they beat LSU.
I was very sad about that.
This their
But
first Final Four, right?
yes, I
That's so
never
good.
big shot of winning. So
That's so good. So yeah, keep going,
Okay.
Oscar. I want to know the rest.
I will. Okay, Missouri, Georgia, or I'll start with Illinois versus UC Davis.
Oh, and Shayna, while he's thinking of that, I need to know your opinion of Elite because I know you saw some of it. And I just want to know because I know you're not an Elite fan. I just want to know your opinion on this. Just keep that in the back of your thoughts.
I think Illinois will beat UC Davis. I saw UC Davis in person. Um, Missouri, Georgia, Arizona State. I think it will be Missouri and Georgia.
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't count out Arizona. I like Arizona too. And if Georgia repeats what they did at the SEC championship, they could be knocked out early.
Nisha said time step this. What did we say?
What happened?
What did we say, Nisha? I don't even remember.
Was I supposed to do the 4 teams on the left before I moved to the right? The final
Nisha,
4?
I will remember
Yeah.
this.
No. You're doing it. You're doing it right.
Okay. Oklahoma, Auburn, Nebraska, Illinois.
See, that's gonna be like I'm not so gung ho with Auburn right now.
Yeah,
They
I might choose
I-
Illinois over Auburn.
or
Really?
Nebraska. Or
Yeah.
Nebraska. Nebraska scored higher at their conference meet than Auburn. I don't know what's going on with Auburn. They looked so good at the middle of the season, and then
They lost their star,
They
right?
lost their strongest, well, their highest scorer. They was
They lost
Melissa
their two
Neal came
stars.
back, and then it's like
It's karma for the way they treated Darian.
they didn't look well. They didn't look good at the SEC championship meet. So
Okay. So now I do those four. I do Missouri, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Illinois.
Yeah.
is Illinois strong though? 'Cause I tried to watch them. I know they have that strong freshman.
Chloe Cho.
Yeah, her. But
Oh,
are
I
they
thought it was the
strong
team
enough?
with all the Canadians. Where are they?
That's Iowa.
That's Iowa. They're
Are they
And I
even on
love-
here?
And I love them. I love Iowa.
I don't see them
they're in the
on
next
here.
regionals.
Okay. So
But they have
maybe
no
I would
chance.
choose Auburn because I like Olivia Greaves.
Mhm.
Okay, so
And I don't like Olivia Greaves.
I think it would be Georgia and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the drama.
And
Yes.
do I keep going with those two or now I go to the bottom right?
Those are your two for now. You could go to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over Missouri? You're picking Georgia over Missouri?
And don't be surprised.
Choices.
That was definitely a choice.
Clemson versus Rutgers.
I picked Rutgers.
Where is Tempo?
Out of sight, out of mind.
Not in the top 30 in the country.
So how does Kirsten Johnson go to nationals? Is she an individual qualifier?
I don't think Temple is a Division One.
So they go to the separate nationals?
They go to what? USAG
they're-
or something?
Yeah, I think they go to, and I don't think they qualify.
But she must have
Because I
qualified as
think-
an individual, right?
I don't think so.
So
Damn.
so what's the championship that Fisk goes to? Is that the same one Temple will go to?
Yes. Let's go to
Yes.
USAG Nationals.
Yeah, USAG.
But they have such a similar acronym to the one that's like, what is
Is
it?
they?
USAIGC, the one that's for amateurs.
Oh, I don't remember that one. And from just my experience, that USAG meet has some great gymnastics too. They have a girl that's on I think an Air Force team. I don't remember her name, but she competed really well at regionals last year. She had qualified, but she's from Air Force. So some of them Division 2 and 3 meets have some good gymnastics.
Air Force has a great beam
Nisha, I feel like,
rotation.
but you know what, Nisha? I'm not even going to call Oscar delusional because Oscar been up here riding and defending for Georgia all season, and look at where they're at now. So I'm not even going to call it delusional. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
that's what I'm saying. It would not shock me if Georgia beats Missouri. All it takes is somebody to have a beam meltdown and
Missouri
and score 48.9 49 or 48.9 on vault. That's what hurt Missouri. Why they
Or
didn't.
what happens when Georgia puts up? What happens when Georgia puts
Can
up
we
3
pause?
perfect
Talk about-
tens on beam from Cara, Jeffrey, and Lily?
Georgia they have the talent. They might not always have like the form, but they have to hit when it counts. Like they're gonna have to do a little bit better with their landings on vault. Lily Smith, Jeffrey Scott, Cara Aker, they're gonna have to be their best.
Yes.
Qualified.
That's
And
what I'm
Lily
expecting. I
Lily
think
Smith has been off and on.
what's her name? Cecile. I think Cecile is telling them what they need to do.
Mm.
Okay, but can we talk about some gymnastics, T, for a second? Because
What's he?
what's up with Jeffrey and Courtney Couture?
What did she
What I-
tell her? I saw a little bit about it. What did she actually say?
What's happening? What are we talking?
Jeffrey was saying something about her old coach.
Someone
Oh,
posted Jeffrey's TikTok that was like, it was like the sound bite from that New Yorker taking the subway, hopping the turnstile, and she's like, "What are you gonna do? Like arrest me? Give me a ticket?" And it was like the caption was like, "Me when I like um I text my coach something mean or something, but I know that they can't kick me off because I'm the best player on the team."
oh, now that's exactly how I feel like Selena Harris acted. That's exactly how you get kicked off a team.
But I don't know what Jeffrey texted her. But Jeffrey commented like, "Oh my gosh, not you guys finding this video or something," as if she expected people to not find it. Like that's crazy.
They could never make me hate Jeffrey.
Never. She's a star.
Wasn't it something like when you're texting your coach the abuse that people have been sending to you and your coach does nothing about it, but they can't? What was the caption? Wasn't it about abuse, or was I just making that
If you
up?
give me 1 minute, I'll find it.
It's
Give
in
me a second.
our it's in the
I am scrolling.
yeah. It'd be a lot with you posting it, but it's in there. I was just too lazy to look.
Huh.
Okay, I found it. It's me in the 7 a.m. meeting after sending my head coach the hate message, knowing they need me on the team.
So was that directed towards the seal or Courtney Coupettes?
The person who posted
was
said, "I need to see this text message like I need air. I'm glad Jeffrey stood up to that troll of a coach, CKC, Courtney Coupettes Carter, or whatever." And Jeffrey commented, "No, y'all found it."
yeah, it was definitely about Courtney Coupettes. It was before Cecile. I just wonder, like, okay, like, Reby is on a break this year, not because she's injured, is she just does not like the equipment that they're going to use at Worlds. So she said, "Bitch, I'm not going to hurt myself. I'll see y'all in 2020 something else, 2026." Which the world is lucky. This is another reason why I think a lot of people are going to try. Most of the top girls aren't going to try for this Worlds. Maybe Melnikova.
Well, remember Reeby's do you remember her vault, specifically her chung at 2021 Worlds, which was also after the Olympics on Taishan equipment? Do you remember how piked down her chung was?
Uh-huh.
She's like, never again.
So go ahead, Oscar. Finish your brackets. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay, I think Clemson is going to be Rutgers. Then Florida, Oregon State, NC State, Clemson. Florida and Oregon State if Jade Carey doesn't have better things to do that day. I was so disappointed. Did I tell you guys that Jade Carey announced the day of the meet that I was supposed to go to at Stanford that she wasn't going to compete? She was hosting a little meet for young girls in Georgia or something out and like, I was so tight. Anyway, California, Alabama, North Carolina, Iowa. I think it's going to be Iowa and Alabama.
Now you see, Oscar, that's where your delusion gets out the way. That's where your delusion goes too far.
Iowa, Alabama.
I saw Cal in person and I was not impressed.
You've gone
They
on too
had-
far now.
What's her name? She fell on Dean, fell off the beam. MJ was looking crazy. Um. Okay, so we have Florida, Oregon State, Alabama, and Iowa. I think it will be Florida and Alabama.
Mind you, this regional is being hosted in Alabama, so this person is being very delusional when they wrote Oregon and State ass down on this paper, knowing damn well this regionals is being hosted in
No, but
Alabama.
Yeah,
Oregon. They said
Alabama has a,
Alabama's gonna. They said
you
Cal
know,
and Florida are gonna advance, and Alabama and Oregon State will be knocked out. So you think that Alabama is gonna beat Cal?
Absolutely.
Honestly, yeah, Alabama looked. If Alabama was in the night session of the SEC, I think they would have also scored a 198 as
Okay, well I
well.
said Alabama. I think Alabama and Florida are gonna advance. So now do I do the left side or the
I
right
agree with
side? The final quad meet. Or not the final,
This,
but the second.
this is going to be Elite 8 now.
So what? So the left. So my left side. So if I'm looking at the computer screen, my
It's
left
two quad
side
meets,
would
right?
be the day session. So that would be the MSU. This point your mouse on this side of the screen, Oscar. On this side of the screen would be the day session. On this side of the screen will be the night
Okay,
session.
so I have to remember my teams. I think my teams were MSU.
that's how they doing it this year. That's
I-
crazy. When is LSU
MSU,
gonna be able to go till the
LSU,
night?
UCLA, and Stanford.
Yes.
I think it will be definitely LSU, and second place will be between MSU or UCLA. Maybe I want UCLA. I would expect MSU.
You were
Really?
Iowa to get to beat California, which is not happening. You expect Georgia to beat Mizzou, it's not happening.
Every time Oscar do anything in the NCAA, I'm just like chaos. I'm like, really?
Really? So the
Hey,
right side.
MSU was real strong at their conference meet, you know.
MSU is the best
They
vaulting
are.
team in the
They are,
country.
and no T Urza, because I love Florida, but UCLA and Florida are both known for fumbling this meet down.
Don't you think MSU has the best vault rotation in the country?
If they're uneven bars where it just
Michaela been talking about.
go back and
Michaela
watch
been
the show
talking
that we
about the
did after
bars all
conference
season.
championship.
She's not.
When we read everybody down, like you understand why I love MSU, but their uneven bars is so weak to me.
What is the tea with Jeffrey Scott in Florida? Was she committed to Florida?
Yeah, she was.
Oh. And
I
no
think
one
it was
knows
the
why
fact
she
that
switched her commitment?
I think it was the fact that Florida had 0 scholarships because they was giving everybody a spot on the team, and I would have left too.
Without a scholarship, right?
Damn, that's so fucked up, Jeffrey. You gave up your scholarship to Florida, and Charlize didn't even use hers.
Jeffrey gave up her scholarship, or she didn't go there because they didn't offer her a scholarship?
No, I think she did.
Probably the latter.
So that's fucked up of Florida, not Jeffrey. Because she deserves all the scholarships.
Absolutely.
So on the right side, we have Georgia.
And Jeffrey also liked the tweet where somebody said Jeffrey and Leanne are the only two gauge gymnasts that have de-gauged. No, it was they said Cara, Leanne, and Jeffrey over here de-gageifying themselves from gauge gymnastics or some shit like that, and she liked that shit. So I really want to have a conversation with Jeffrey about the tea in her life, because I know she got some stories.
I'm manifesting a Jeffrey Scott interview for the podcast of
Mikhail, I'm sure if you reach out, you could get her.
I know, because I know Cecile follows me and listens to the show. So I I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it's a stretch. I just have to start learning how to
Yo,
network to people.
you
That's
hear
what I'm.
how hard I'm riding for Georgia? Send me some tickets. I will show up.
Yes, still, I don't ride for Georgia like that now, but I will.
Oh, you're only a fan when they're winning.
Absolutely. I'm from Florida. Absolutely.
Okay, Georgia, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Florida.
Yes.
Oklahoma's definitely advancing.
Are you sure?
And then, in my mind,
I don't know about that one
in my
anymore, Fred.
mind, in
I
my
don't know about that.
mind,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and then in my mind, it should be Florida. I think even if Florida has a poor performance, they're still gonna get the scores they need to beat Georgia. I think Georgia's gonna beat Alabama.
Oh, I don't know about that one either, Fred. I don't know about. Ooh.
Very wishful thinking.
Alabama don't look like the same team they did at the beginning of the season.
They started the season so
Neither
good.
did
They started with a
Florida.
197.550.
They look better than
And
that
when-
now.
Completely.
Okay, it's because they have Jamison Sears in the lineup finally.
Or it's
Probably.
because they got cussed out too many times by their coaches.
That's
Okay, I
who.
think
And
I'm
they got
about
the-
to give Georgia their first L of the year. I think Georgia is going to get knocked out by Florida. But I hope that they come in first place every time. So the final four,
Uh-huh.
LSU, no, MSU is Missouri State or Michigan State? What is MSU?
Michigan State.
Michigan State University,
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma, and Florida.
I don't like this. I don't like Oscar's bracket, y'all. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it's good to have strong opinions. It's good that we all have different opinions also. More.
That is the chaos ass bracket, though. But you're not the only one who feels that way. I think the overwhelming consistent.
How is it chaotic? It's
consistent,
literally what
that's
this person wrote, except Utah instead of, or MSU instead of Utah.
Yeah, that's chaotic. Like,
Would it be
because I
less
think
chaotic if it was UCLA?
I think UCLA is the front runners to win this thing at this point.
Why would they be the front runners ahead of LSU?
Their performance at their regionals, they did so damn good. Like, it was like
Have
it
they
looked
ever done
like
that well twice in a row?
Oscar, let me tell you something. Oscar, let me tell you something.
Ooh. Ooh.
You see,
Even when they won in 2018 or whatever, that was like a fluke, and they admitted it. They were like, "We've never done this well." That's just my memory.
Well, at least we know they have it within their system. We don't know who's gonna see it twice, but it's possible. Because it still wasn't their best. I don't think it was. See, this is the thing. I don't think it was their best performance because they could still be better on vault. A lot better on vault.
I want the Final Four to be like MSU,
And the thing with their
LSU.
conference championship, Oscar, when you see all of the 10s they got, you're going to be like, wow, they actually deserve these 10s. Like, they're not cheating.
Yes,
Like, wow.
UCLA.
What the hell?
yes,
I
Yes.
saw it was Sienna, Alipio, Brooklyn Moores, Jordan Childs. They all got 10s, right?
Yes, it's like, wow.
I saw Sienna's routine. Brooklyn deserved a 10 multiple times. She didn't get one. Definitely at the senior night, I was there. Jordan already got a 10 on floor. I'm not
If
surprised.
Jordan hits a floor 10, she's getting a 10 most of the time.
Right. She definitely is.
Is
I wonder if Jordan's going to use this music for her elite routine this
is
year.
Kalia Lincoln gonna
They
compete
would
at
eat
the
her up.
regional?
Is she going to do what, baby?
Is she able to compete at the regional?
I think she's supposed to have her surgery, but I think she's holding it off until after the season ends.
Okay. Then I think it should be LSU should be the champions.
We agree, Oscar.
But I could also see UCLA winning, and then I could also
Yeah.
see Oklahoma winning. I
I
don't
like
see
that
it for
side of you,
Florida.
Oscar. I like the side of you, Oscar.
The crazy thing is I can see Florida winning over Oklahoma. Oklahoma stock was down for me based off the
I'm
SEC.
Oklahoma. I just don't see how Oklahoma could drastically improve. Like they don't have no. Oh, we have her. She didn't compete yet. No, they've thrown everyone they could
Like, who are
out.
they going to get to
Hannah
perform
Horton,
on?
or no, not Hannah Horton, Hannah Scheibel.
She's
She
out.
has a.
She's been
She
out.
only does vault, and she has a elbow injury.
But they
Danae.
said that they're planning on using her for the vault in the postseason.
Oh, really?
For
So
what?
she's been
Yeah.
out all season just to come at the end of the meet, at the end of the
That's
season.
that's what they said.
Danae Fletcher.
Oh my god, I want Danae so bad.
We're never going to see Danae in a lineup ever again, and I'm at peace with that.
Mm.
She had a great college career.
I just feel like she's been injured for so long. Like she had what, 1 or 2 good seasons, maybe 1.
Yeah.
And then
Michaela, should I keep the bracket up or should I get rid of it now that we're done?
Well, you can take it down now.
That's a great bracket. A lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting teams. Things become boring when it be like the status quo. So you expect it to be like LSU, Florida, Oklahoma, Utah, with UCLA like possibly being here. But it's just like, no, I want to see a Missouri possibly beat Florida. You know,
Give me the Georgia.
I want to see UCLA or Michigan State actually like beat, Utah for that second spot. God forbid if something happened to LSU, but I want to see people that aren't, the favorite to make it to the finals, have a shot. Because not having, I was so excited last year because Oklahoma was not in the finals. I didn't know LSU was going to win. It could have been any of the 4 teams: Cal, Florida, Utah. When you have the favorites, it kind of make it like less interesting,
I did not see it for Cal last year. I didn't want it for them. I just not enough season in.
They're so underwhelming.
Very unseasoned.
Did you already talk about that new uneven bars dismount from Mana Okamura? The piked fan Yulin dismount?
I saw it.
We talked about it in a show that you weren't here, but we could always talk about it again. But before we talk about it, before I forget, I want to get Shayna's opinion on what she saw with Elite so far this year. Because we're trying to convince Shayna to like Elite as well, as much as she likes NCAA.
Who's the girl? The American girl with the Nazi looking floor routine.
Claire Fees.
Very, very. I liked her. I also liked the little Wenjing Chinese being routine.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, that was just
beautiful. I just like I'm like, should I really try to give it a try? This elite stuff.
I think you should, especially that it's going to be a home Olympics. The Americans are definitely going to try to show
And it
out.
just started. Like it literally just started. It's only gonna get better.
So what's
So you have an opportunity to
Yes.
follow like from the very get go, which is the most fun in my
okay?
opinion.
I'm gonna try. I have to force myself to do it, Michaela. You're gonna have to try to force me to do it. 'Cause I
Of
really
course.
want to because, like you say, nationals is in August, so I would like to go to that competition, and I don't want to just be like, I don't know who this is and who that is and what they're gonna do, and of course,
The only thing is, you just got to realize that it's going to completely change from now till like maybe because not it doesn't always completely change. Sometimes it's the same because Nastia's squad it was the same. The whole they just added Sean like the last 2 years,
Well,
but it
Shayna, if you want to
was
know
pretty much the
more, you
same.
should listen to the beginning of the show from today because we talked a lot about who we have our eyes on, and we talked a lot about Claire Pease.
and Addicts be streaming the shit out of that elite stuff.
Yes.
He really was, and the sad part is all of that shit was free on YouTube. Like he didn't even have to. Like at his, I love you, Fred. Don't kill yourself when it's free on YouTube. Just tell the people to go to watch it on YouTube. Like,
But I think the more
um,
people that watch it get paid for it, right?
oh yeah, I
Especially on
mean,
especially on
streamers.
Twitter if they do use those free subs through Amazon.
Shayna, did you see
Mhm.
the American Ashley Sullivan's upgraded floor routine?
I saw the silly vibe. The silly vibe. So what's the tea with her? Because about taking the socials down for who was she committed to? Michigan?
Michigan.
Is,
Michigan.
is she no longer committed there?
I did my research and she didn't post anything about not going to Michigan, but she took it down. Definitely.
Pe- People who have been following her said she's have taken it down for at least a year.
Michigan is still
So
posting her though.
and Michigan is still posting her. But that kind of reminds me of what happened with Charlize. Like Florida was posting Charlize for like a year after Charlize stopped posting stuff about Florida. So I'm not
And
sure.
you
I
really look
wouldn't be
at it
surprised
like
if
who
y'all.
is Charlize coaches?
Sarah scoring gold.
Yeah, I don't think Charlize goes to like a major gym right now. I know she started her career with Gabby's
Carpenter.
Guys.
yes.
Katia.
Yes,
Charlize,
Urza.
who has been her coach for the majority of the last 8 years on her journey trying to make the Olympics and deferring going to Florida for so long?
For
I
Tokyo,
that
it
was
was Katia
him.
Carpenter, and for Paris, it was Sarah Sporngold.
Do you think maybe had she tried to, go the route of a Jade? I mean, I know everyone's body is different. Do the Jade Lee go to college and still,
I don't think Charlize is as rowdy as those two. Those two are like
and
Charlize is
Jason
constantly pulling
Jade,
out and like downgrading, and like she's
mm,
much more strategic and has a cautious strategy.
yeah, but has that strategy paid off? And I love, and I'm not. I'm just trying to understand the thought process of not going to college. You still are an Olympic.
Hey, maybe Charlize just isn't that academic
It's
type.
unfortunate she got hurt this round, but I just feel like the girls are so happy when they go to college. elite now. This worlds, but she has deferred to not to be able to try for the Olympics, and she's not an Olympian yet. You know, and to look like she's not going to be going to college now, it's like, girl, she lost.
Hey, maybe she got a lot of unfinished business with elite gymnastics that maybe she just won't get the same. Because with Charlize, and this is just me talking out my ass, I don't have any inside information on this. With Charlize and with Connor, I believe both of them started off in gymnastics because of their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when both of their fathers passed, I know it was hard for both of them whether they should continue or what should be, should go on. So I don't know. Maybe with Charlize, unlike with maybe Charlize just doesn't feel like college is gonna fill that gap for her. Maybe like it did with.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so sad.
Very.
Oscar, is that the time when Milo had taken those nasty pictures in her official Romanian leotard, which got her banned from Romanian gymnastics?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure. I just pulled this image from the web. I would assume not, since she has it on.
Maybe that was the last time she ever wore it, and Romanians took it back. Wow, we really talked about everything that I really wanted to talk about, you guys. I really have nothing else. Like, I'm so sorry.
Why do you think Claire Pease deserved the gold on vault over Jayla Hank?
I think Claire Pease actually did a laid out of the Lopez vault correctly. Was it a little bit piped around? I mean, it was a little bit piped over. I'm not going to say it was completely, but it wasn't so bad that I don't think they shouldn't have given it credit for the laid out position.
Did they credit Jayla's?
And with Jayla definitely was doing a pike front half.
Did they credit her with a pike?
No, both of them got credit for the Lopez.
No, both of them got credit for the poker by Ava, right? The Lopez is worth a 4.8, and the poke.
No, they got credit for the Lopez. But I'm gonna back.
So they both got credit for the 4.2, right? Which is the poker by Ava.
Let me go check it right now.
That's why I was so mad, because I felt like Claire's was a Lopez and Jayla was a poker by Ava. That's why I feel like Claire should have won. Plus, I just feel like Claire's vault was overall better landed than Jayla's was.
Oh, you are correct. They both got. Yeah, both of them got credited for the Parker by Ava.
Shout out to Pranati Nayak for competing the Zamo vault and winning the bronze medal.
But Claire's Lopez was scored higher. No, Jayla was scored higher, actually.
They scored Jayla higher on both vaults, and I was kind of gagged.
Yes.
Maybe she was higher in real life that you can't tell on TV, but it just did not look.
What did you think of Tianzhou Fan's uneven bars and her beam? She made bars and beam finals at Antalya.
It was cute.
It was cute. Shout out to the keeping skills. Poor Sunisa Lee. I'm so sorry, friend. And that Japanese girl's dismount, did we ever get confirmation of what they gave it credit for? Is it a D at least?
I don't know. What did you think about Aiko Sugihara on beam and floor?
She ate that Florentino.
Absolutely. Are the Americans sending anybody to this next World Cup?
I'm very confident they are not,
In
which is sad.
Osijek?
Is this the next? Is this the World Cup where Melnikova is going to debut?
Osijek? Hold on.
Heath Thorpe is going to compete.
Yay.
Yes, it's Osijek World Cup.
We're also going to have Valentina Georgieva from Bulgaria. She made the vault final at the Olympics. Fallon Olsen. I didn't know she's still competing. We're going to have Yu Lin Min, the last Chung vault from China. Yang Fanny Wei, the originator of the twisting laid out Jaeger. We're going to have Jake Jarman and Harry Hepworth.
Good for them.
And we will also have
Oh, Angelina is going to Osijek World Cup, Michaela. So yay.
She is.
Yes, I see her training. It's a video of her training for Osijek. In the title it says training for Osijek World Cup 2025.
the Dutch are sending Sanne Veerman, Naomi Visser, and Ithora Thorsdottir.
Okay, Netherlands.
Jayla Hang is going, allegedly.
To where?
Really?
To where?
Osijek.
But I think the USA just enters Neums in the rosters.
They also
so
have
they would.
Ashley Sullivan.
Okay, I would love to see that.
Who?
Ashley Sullivan. Ashley.
I would love it. I mean, they're both already in Europe. Why not?
I would love it for them.
I mean, it's like 4 girls in Europe right now. Send them to all the World
Send them all the
Cups.
World Cups. Send them to Cairo too, I believe.
Isn't that what happened to Jade Carey? Like they just kept sending her to World Cups, and then like she just
Yeah.
kept getting better.
And France is going to send Melanie De Jesus dos Santos.
Okay, Melanie.
Really?
To also,
April
she went to
Fools.
Oh,
Oh,
But it should be exciting. Those are great gymnasts. And many more that I did not mention. I wish the Italians were sending some wags, but they're only sending men.
They have their own Series A competition that they send all of their gymnasts to.
Is it Series A or is it just
It's the Italian series. I just like calling it Series A.
Jesselo is happening on the 12th to the 13th, and Oxyject is the 10th to the 13th.
And the last time USA sent a team to Jesselo, they got 8 up. They didn't medal at all. I think they only
There's
got a
also
team medal.
There's also the Doha World Cup on the 16th to the 19th,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cairo World Cup is the 25th to the 28th. That's crazy. 3 World Cups in 1 month.
USA just
I know they normally send people to Doha in China and Cairo, so maybe we'll get girls going to both of those.
There's a lot to look forward to. We discussed all the important bits. If there's anything important we didn't get to, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching.
That's Oscar way of saying, bitch, we finna get off this motherfucker. I live. So, with that being said, yeah, that's the show. We gave y'all a full, almost 3-hour show. Plus, I gave you all like a 30-minute thing this morning. You should be full of gymnastics. Oh my God, so much gymnastics coming up over the next month. Y'all should not be complaining about, oh my gosh, I wish gymnastics was on it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot to cover. So, and when the NCAA season ends, we will go back to our regular schedule, Saturday schedule, like we used to do. Because that really works so much better for me than in the middle of the week.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And with that being said, I would try to do a show. Ooh, I worked so much this weekend. Maybe Saturday after the end of regionals.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
But that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
Regionals and Saturday and Sunday.
I was gonna ask, can you guys quickly tell us when to watch the NCAA gymnastics in the next few days?
Tomorrow to Sunday.
Oh,
tomorrow through Sunday.
Can you be more specific?
Let me find
the play-in.
Somebody made up a schedule. It's not an official schedule, but it's the right information. So let me look for it.
Okay, I found a schedule. Should I share it quickly?
Absolutely. Screen.
Okay, this is Eastern time. So I guess tomorrow there's 2 things. Do you want me to read it, or do one of you want to read it?
You read it because I can't see it. I mean, I can see it, but it's too small.
Oh. Can you make it? Oh, it already is full screen. Okay. Sorry about that. Well, it says tomorrow at 2 p.m. there's Pennsylvania Regional 1, Maryland and West Virginia. Then at 5 p.m.
That's the first play.
5 p.m. Utah Regional 1, BYU and Utah State.
That's the second play-in.
Then we have Thursday, April 3rd, 1 p.m., Pennsylvania Regional 2, Session 1. George Washington, Kentucky, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, Pittsburgh, and Towson. 3 p.m., Alabama Regional 1, Clemson and Rutgers. 4 p.m., Utah Regional 2, Session 1, Air Force, Boise State, Iowa State, Minnesota, San Jose State, Southern Utah, and UCLA. 5 p.m., Washington Regional 1, Illinois and UC Davis.
7 p.m. Pennsylvania Regional 2, Session 2. Arkansas, Kent State, LSU, Maryland, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. 10 p.m. Last thing of Thursday, Utah Regional 2, Session 2, Brown, BYU, Denver, Eastern Michigan, Stanford, Utah, and Utah State. Should I keep going? Okay, Friday, April 4th, 2 p.m. We have the Alabama Regional 2, Session 1, Alabama, Ball State, California, Iowa, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Northern Illinois, Southeast Missouri, Western Michigan. At 4 p.m.
And I know y'all like what are all these teams? They're sending individuals to these, so they're just schools that are being represented by individuals. Just keep that in mind.
Okay, that's good to know. 4 p.m. on Friday, April 4th. Washington Regional 2, Session 1. Arizona, Arizona State, Georgia, Illinois State, Missouri, Washington. 8 p.m. Alabama Regional 2, Session 2. Central Michigan, Clemson, Florida, North Carolina State, Oregon State, and Rutgers. Last competition on Friday, April 4th, 10 p.m. Washington Regional 2, Session 2. Auburn, Illinois, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and UC Davis. Next day, Saturday, April 5th, 5 p.m. Pennsylvania Regional Final. Arkansas, Kentucky, LSU, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, and West Virginia. 7 p.m. on Saturday, we have the Utah Regional Final, which is with Boise State, BYU, Denver, Minnesota, Southern Utah, Stanford, UCLA, Utah, and Utah State. Sunday, April 6th, 6 p.m., Alabama Regional Final. Alabama, California, Clemson, Florida, Iowa, North Carolina State, Oregon State, and Rutgers. 8 p.m. on Sunday, the Washington Regional Final. Arizona, Arizona State, Auburn, Georgia, Illinois, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and UC Davis. Friday, April 11th.
No, you're gone. You're done. You're done.
What is that WCGNIC?
I think that's a different conference championship.
Fabulous. Okay. Well, that was a lot. I'll put this link in the chat.
So yeah, between Wednesday till Sunday is nonstop gymnastics for the NCAA. And after all of this is said and done, we will have 8 teams going to the NCAA championships. And after session 1 and session 2 of the NCAA championships, we'll have 4 teams who are fighting it out for the NCAA title.
How exciting. It's the last 3 weeks of collegiate gymnastics this year. Get into it. It will be over soon.
Absolutely. And literally in 2 weeks, it will be done. With that being said, I'm tapped out emotionally and tired and hungry. So we'll see you all later. Bye,
Bye,
Oscar.
Michaela. Bye, everyone. Good night. Take care.
Peace out.